Alright, y'all, today the Hippo slow run continues as we look to go from 1200 to 1300 ELO. Before getting this thing kicked off, I wanted to remind y'all of the August discount code that gets you 30% off on my advanced Hippo course. Plug that in before the end of August and you'll get 30% off on the course. Appreciate y'all. Let's get right into it. Okay, so here we got our usual 1, 2, 3 against nearly anything. Looks like our guy's thinking here, trying to figure out what the heck to do. Sometimes I'll see H5, which warrants a different response, but yeah, most of the time we just see something regular. Okay, we'll see what he or she does next. But yeah, if I see G6, I'll probably look to just very quickly throw that other fianchetto in there. I can also, I mean, you don't have to play it, but you can. That's interesting. I don't often see both of the knights coming out, but okay, fair enough. Play D3. Okay. This is turning more and more into a normal type of setup. Could become a 2-pawn center. E6, I don't think that's that good for them because my bishop will be a monster if I have that full diagonal. Okay. All right, we took our knight. As you can see, we got a big advantage on the clock. That's one of the nice things about the Hippo. In longer time controls, you see this pay off a lot more, but yeah, you do get often a very nice edge on the clock because I haven't had to think yet at all. And this is probably the first time they're seeing the Hippo against them. All right. Yep, kick the bishop. B3 works too. Okay, now this is an interesting moment because I can play B4 and kick the bishop back, or I could play B3 and go from there. Now if the bishop was on H5, I'd probably kick because I don't want to necessarily deal with this. It's not the end of the world, but a little annoying. If I kick and I tuck the knight, they could still do that. I guess I could kick and then here threaten that. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm okay with that. Take the space. Okay, now I'm threatening B5, which would win a pawn. You only got one defender on that guy. So they could stop it with A6 or a queen move. I don't think pushing... Oh, they did push. I don't think that's that good. I could either push or take. Now I usually push. I will say that with this pawn structure being a little bit broken up, it might not be the best idea. So I'm kind of considering knight c4. Yeah, I like that move. So that puts a little bit of pressure on the bishop and on e5 as well. So yet again, I'm threatening this. I'm also eyeing up this and takes, right? So that's another idea. Maybe takes, and then takes. All right, if they want to take here, I can capture with the pawn. That looks fine. If knight d5, queen d2 would hold everything together. Queen g5, I take. I suppose I could take the bishop. I'm a little bit concerned about here. Do I need to be? Probably not. Okay, so now we have the bishop running back. So here we have our Hippo bishop putting pressure on e5, the other Hippo bishop putting pressure on c6. Is it worth it for me to take this? No, because my rook's attacked. Could I take this guy? I mean, I could, but then that falls. I could do this. I could kick the knight, take, and then take. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. Trying to see if there's anything better. It is a little bit loose. It's a little bit loose. The other option is I kick and then take on b7. So I'm not totally sure what I'm going to do yet, but I know I'm starting out with this. So get that knight misplaced. Put some pressure on b7. Really more pressure on e5 in the sense of they don't have a defender on it. So this pawn will be hanging with two attackers. That will be hanging potentially. Okay, knight a5. Okay, if I take, I'm in check, so maybe that's not the best idea. Check. I block. Yeah, I'm okay. I don't want to move my king to f2 or f1 either. Okay, it's probably time to take this guy off. They do have a knight on a5, which is slowing down my pawn expansion, but I wasn't planning on expanding that pawn anyway. And this knight right now is stuck. So that's good for me that this knight can't move. Capture, capture. The knight could move again. One option is I go a4 to slow that down. a4 or c4. I think both of those are good. They both look fine. a4 is probably better though. It's less weakening than c4, which weakens d3. Okay, I'll play that. And if I see queen e7, maybe bishop a3. That looks active. Castling as well looks okay, but why not play this first? Okay, so we see the move of c6. So you're going to hand me the pawn and then take. Okay, takes, takes. I improve my knight. Got to see where that bishop wants to go. Could go to quite a few places, but I mean, taking off the central pawn, I'm not going to pass that up. Not going to pass that up. On top of that, if you take, you have tripled isolated pawns. Of course, right, one of them I'll take right away, but yeah. Black's pawn structure is getting decimated. It's probably the biggest advantage I see right now. Both kings are still in the center. I do like castling too, because that would really put a lot of pressure on that knight. Okay, so the queen ends up running. Can I get away with this as an in-between move? Takes, 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 takes. It's just a trade. I get a pawn, I lose a pawn. I mean, I guess I'm up a pawn though, so I'd get keep a material advantage, which y'all know me. I'm a big fan of that. At the same time, if I move my bishop, I get kicked. If I move my bishop, I get almost trapped. Yeah, that's not good. I could go there, but that's weakening. So maybe I do got to take, check, play from there. Of course, they could take. But now if I go here, I was planning on the pawn taking. But if the pawn took, then the rook could fall. Now, with the knight taking, these are still very weak. Doubled and isolated, that is not good for them. Now, if I move my bishop somewhere, I just lose my pawn. Or I get kicked. So, I think we gotta take this off. Not necessarily because I want to, but just to save this pawn. And they could have took with this guy, but then they got, I mean, a mess. A pawn structure only a mother could love there. Queen d2, nope. That would be horrible. Knight f4 looks solid. I'm actually just going to play that. I'm trying to castle. That's my goal. Just get castled, dude. Come on. The king is feeling less and less safe here. If they checked, I'd probably go to f2. But I'm not complaining that they missed that. I still would have been okay. It just would have took a little bit longer to get to h2. Which even that, do I need to? I don't know. Wouldn't hurt. There's no dark square bishop, so my king is pretty safe on that spot. Knight d5 is an option. Okay, they hung their queen. That's it. Well played, though, up until that hanging of the queen. Okay, I'm guessing that was a mouse slip. Not sure. Okay, here, yep, slow that bishop down. I don't want to go knight d7. Those of you that saw the video going over Michael Taylor's Hippo games, I covered that, or mentioned that, but okay, d4. Okay, yeah. This guy's playing a little bit faster too. All right, tuck the knight. Okay, so they're wasting some time there with the bishop. That's a little bit weakened. They could go bishop e3 to strengthen that. Okay, that move does drop d4. Can I get away with this? I think so. They don't have check. So that guy falls. Yeah, there's no check. I mean, they could do that, but I could take, or even... Nah, I'd probably take with check and then take. I don't know. I mean, that just doesn't make much sense. Okay, so I'm going to take my pawn, and then I think I'm going to run back home. That said, if I run back home, they push. So why not go here first? Just see what that knight's doing. I mean, if you want to defend it, I'll take. If you want to let me take it, great. And then if you sack it, great. And if you go back, your whole plan's ruined. So I think, yeah, I think this kind of slows down that push a little bit for them. Probably better to bring the knight back to e1, right? Like when you're looking at a lot of King's Indian defense games, you see the knight come back to e8 because the knight can't get kicked around there. Not always bad to do this, but here the knight's not supported at all. Okay, knight back. I go here, they take. I mean, I think taking with either the pawn or the knight is winning, which is easier. Huh. I mean, you can make an argument for either one. I'm going to go with the knight just to keep this solid. If you really want to kick me, I can always centralize. And I have a G file now, too, that I could try to work with later on. All right, I'm guessing they're looking towards H5 there. Let's continue with development. I'm probably going to go queenside. Right, so that's the thing about the Hippo. The castling is a good filler move. It's also the number one thing you got to think about is king safety. My king right now is safe, but I mean, if this pawn starts flying down at me, I might have to jump ship. Yeah, sure. If you want to trade, that's fine. I mean, I like my bishop, but I'm up a pawn, so... Or sorry, excuse me, up a piece. F4. Okay, so they're looking at this. If they push and they blah, 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 they have two attackers on my bishop, I have two defenders, so my bishop's secure. My bishop's fine. I could always check, too. So let me just get the heck out of there. Now their king is on a semi-open file. And their king is starting to feel a little bit more exposed than mine. Mine feels pretty well insulated in this little cave there. Push. Okay, I kind of want to take to open up this bishop, but they don't have to take with the pawn. They could take with the rook. I don't love that. We're not here to play hope chess, so I'm going to just improve this knight. Again, if you take and take and take, okay, I have enough defense. So, and this knight is taking up so many squares. There, that's interesting. I could go d5 and try to get a fork. I actually don't mind that. And that's not hope chess either, because I'm putting good pressure on e4. The rook is aimed towards their queen. Yeah, I think that's fine. If takes, I could always take back with the knight to keep this bishop well protected. Because I don't want to take with the rook and then takes or something. Yeah, so I'll take with the knight so that the bishop still has 2 defenders on it, because there's all that pressure there. Is there anything better than taking? No. Okay. Keeping this solid. Okay, I could take it. I don't have to, but why not? Why not take? Is it better with pawn or bishop? If I take with the pawn, I don't have any isolated pawns. That's true. I do like the activity of this bishop, though. Knight f4. That's fine. I guess that's threatening that, though. Okay, fine. We'll play principled here. Less weaknesses. Only 1 isolated pawn. A4. Okay, typically, guys, against this, we're going to go here and then lock it up. Let me just make sure there's not something better here, tactically, because their king's so wide open. Yeah, I mean, I'm up a piece, so no need to get fancy here. Just play this so that if they ever push, we're good. Their attack goes nowhere. Okay, they're going for a rook lift. Okay. We'll go here, and does that work? Takes, check, they run. Check. They run. I mean, I could get a perpetual, but... Huh. I think it works. If I go back, check. Sorry, guys. Here, check. Here, check. If the rook blocks, takes. I got 2 rooks. They have 1 rook. Yeah, I think that works. Now, I don't have to do this, guys. This is me, you know. I don't think it's risky technically, but you could call it risky if you miscalculate it. So you don't have to do this. If you're up a piece, you could always just play safe, move your queen away. But this seems like a pretty direct line where that's forced. My idea is here so that the rook can't block super easy. I could go here too, but then, yeah, I mean, I don't see anything from that point. So we'll go check. I mean, you could block with the rook, but I don't see what that does. Yeah. You go here again, but takes. Yeah. Okay, so the queen blocks. Sure. Okay, so yeah, we're up 6 points. The rook is attacked. They take. I want to go here to threaten mate, but that just drops a rook. That makes no sense. I could do this. Yeah, might as well. Because then at the end of that, I'm in a spot where I'm looking at the knight and I'm looking at c2 as well. Whoever said the hippo's not aggressive is just wrong. Just wrong. Not the first 10 moves, but eventually, yeah. Okay, here. Okay, they shouldn't do that. They're down material. They should avoid trades at all cost. That made things much easier for me. All right. Here we go. Okay. Don't move the bishop, bruh. Don't do that. Okay, so it looks like we might be getting... Okay, I don't know what this is called. What is this? This is like a London, but on the other side, I guess. Not really. It's... Anyway, maybe they're going to go into like a Czech PIRC thing. I could see that. That's solid. That's a solid position. I will say against the Hippo, if you don't take the full center... Okay, yeah, so they probably play the Czech PIRC. All right, now we have D5, so... Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time keeping up here, okay? Because I keep, like, changing the opening in my head. Anyway, okay, E4. They have 2 defenders. I have 3 attackers. I think I can just take it. Yeah, they just gave me a pawn. The E-pawn pushes, maybe we lock it up. Most of the time in your games, guys, when your opponents push the E-pawn, they're just handing you a pawn. Most of the time. Here offers a trade. I like trades. I like trades. Here? Yeah, I don't like the rook coming in. That's kind of annoying. Here. Trading's horrible. Here. Here? No. My queen's getting kicked like a rag doll. Okay. I'll just go here. So I got some pressure on that knight. They trade. If here, I go block. There. Interesting. And he's playing very well. Here, hangs on to everything. If rook over, I could throw in a check. I don't love that idea, but I could. I think I got to go here to start. And then if you kick me, queen c4. I think that barely holds on to everything. Up a pawn. So if I can hang on here, I'm okay. All right, knight a6. So that looks to add pressure in that way. I could kick the queen. I don't mind that. Let's kick the queen. Yeah, because the queen is very strong right now. I mean, putting pressure on c3 and e4, that's not fun. I could take this and run back, but that's a little loose right now, I'd say. I could go here. Check. Yeah, that's not great. I guess I could block with the bishop. It's playable. What other moves do I have here? I mean, I'm feeling a little more comfortable here. A little. Keyword. Boom. Here. Offer a trade. Take. Yeah, I mean, it's awkward. I don't know if I have anything better, though. Could I get away with this? Takes and back? I don't want to take and then leave it there too long, because then my bishop will get trapped. The problem is that's check. That's the issue. That's the issue. This is also something I'm concerned about. What if I go b4? Because then that sets this up nicely, because there's no checks. Yeah, if I go b4, rook over, maybe knight a4? Gosh, very complicated position here. Queen back. Like, how do I just make this simple for me? How do I simplify this? Queen c5 is annoying. What if I castle? Queen side. Then my bishop has protection. It took me forever to find that, but I like that. It might look crazy because they have all this pressure here, but there's no pawns, which is important, and, well, no pawns that can really do much, and this is defended now, and I don't waste a move with this. I also get my king off of that diagonal, so right now I'm feeling good about castling queenside. Now with the bishop improving, this is still something they could think about. I kind of like knight a4 now. Okay, because I'm trying to trade as much as I can. I'm up a pawn. They have attacking chances more than me. I'm trying to trade. Yeah, I could do this. I'll take a look at Stockfish after the game and see if that's playable, but a little bit scary there, I'd say. Okay. King takes. All right, now it might be a little bit more doable. Here. They run. Here, if they trap me. Yeah, that's fine, because I get the bishop, actually. Okay, so there. We'll improve the queen. I'm looking into h4. That's what I'm looking at. If you go g6, I can take. And then... let me just double check. Yeah, they can't take or else the bishop drops. If here, that's not good. They should throw in a check first if they're going to take. I mean, that's probably the best move anyway, just to defend g6, right? Okay, they miss it. We'll fly in. Well played. Put some good pressure on me there. I mean, taking, I'm winning. If the queen runs, then mate in 2. Can the queen run anywhere to stop this and this? I don't think so. I mean, you could go there, but then I just go there. All right, y'all. Let's go through it. Let's see here how I did. Okay, this is all normal. Let's just make sure. Yep, taking is good. They gave me a pawn. That's great. I suppose, yeah, I could go bishop b2. Looks like that's a slight preference there. That makes sense. I mean, this is going to be weak, but this is still good. And that was a mistake. Interesting. So I'm supposed to bottle up here and go knight d2. Yeah, that makes sense, because I missed that line where they took. That was a good move, and then check. This is all very scary, but I was able to hold on. White's still okay here, as you can see. But yeah, if I see all this pressure and I go, you know what, I'm going back. Even if you pin me, I'm fine. It's really not the end of the world. I can always step off. I mean, potentially once I castle, I could even do this. Maybe. I take that back because takes and check. But yeah. Okay. So that was the first mistake, not bottling up there. Let's see. The rest of this, that was engine move. It does like knight a4. Interesting. I missed that. I missed the queen trade. I'm always talking about trading down. I should just trade. Good stuff. So I missed that. Yeah, I didn't love this because, I mean, I just drop a piece. I do get some counterplay, I guess, but I don't know. And I was looking at this too, but that's probably the nicest move available. Castling queenside was fine. And now, I think from this point I was winning the whole time. Oh, never mind. I gotta drop back. Queen e7. Stopping this. And then my bishop's awkward. Makes sense. And that was it. Okay. Hey, good game. Well played there. Yeah. By my opponent. All right. Here we go. This guy is so confused about the hippo, he hasn't moved yet. Here we go. All right. 1. Okay, got the fianchetto. What the heck is this? That's not going to work, brother. Not going to work. What's this guy doing? Okay, d3. We tuck. So they're giving me a little bit of space. They're not taking the full center. Probably continue with... I'll go a6 first, just for the heck of it, just because there's so much stuff looking right there. Why not? I'll just start with that. That actually threatens b5 as well. I mean, the bishop's trapped. Nowhere to go. So they're going to have to give up 2 pieces for a pawn. I'm winning there. I just have to play solid, trade down. Yeah, look for trades any chance I can get. Now, should they take with the knight or the bishop? Looks like they're taking with the knight. Okay. Queen. I could just keep hippoing it. I could offer a trade, but they run. I mean, then my queen's kind of... I mean, it's not bad. It's not... Honestly, any of these moves look pretty good. Even that looks okay. c6. If I go there, could I trap the bishop again? Here, here. I guess they take here as well. Yeah. Okay. I could offer trade. I could... Let's just keep hippoing it. I mean, why not? Continue with our hippo. Now I am looking towards bishop a6 to trade down. Okay, when you're up material, trading down is a threat, not just a good thing. Like if I'm down material, my opponent is offering a trade, that is a threat. Them trading with me is a threat there. Gosh, that queen looks like it's just kind of... I mean, I want to just go here, but can I trap the queen? I think the queen only has 3 safe squares. If I go here, the queen only has 1. And that's it, I think. Here, that's the only safe move. And then the queen's trapped. So really the queen should give itself up for the rook there, not get trapped by the knight. Because now you're going to lose the queen for a knight, not a rook. But yeah, nowhere for the queen to go. A 12-move winning position for the hippo. Pretty rare that happens. Yeah, just nowhere to go. A4 kind of dug that queen into a hole. Got to give your queen somewhere to run away, brother. I don't even know what they do. I guess here. I guess I could just go back, but yeah. Okay, so if I take, we're trading queens. I'm so good on that. I will take the queen. Okay, we'll take there. Gosh, that's almost a trap too. That's funny. This is the game of the traps right here. Takes is solid. I don't need to though. Let's offer a trade. If they avoid the trade, then I fly in. Okay. Tuck the king on g7. I guess I could have tucked here too. I will just do that now, actually, I think. Yep. If here, I could always run. I could also do this. So this does technically lose me 1 point in material, but I'm up 10 points. So it's okay. Right? I go up from 10 to +9. And now, I mean, the end game is over. Too many pieces. Too many weaknesses. These pawns are scrambled eggs. I mean, we'll jump in and start trying to take those guys off. We could get a mating net with the bishop here. The knight as well is very strong. I don't think you can make your pawn structure any worse as white. Okay, we'll go there, and then that's mate. Sorry, that's mate, and that's mate. All right. Here we go. Okay, are we going to get a London? We might. I love playing against the London with the hippo. Okay, tuck the knight. See where he goes. Alright, check, that's fine. I could kick the bishop. I'll probably go b3. I mean, you can't go in anyway. Okay, now I'm looking here. They slow it down. Let's see where that bishop wants to go. Now, this is interesting because e6 is definitely a little bit vulnerable. This sets up that threat. If they go here, yeah, I mean, that's a good move. I don't usually do that, but they're not. This is not a typical two-pawn center. I mean, this is a, I don't know what you call this, but it's something. I'll say that. If they pushed, I take, and then I check. If the bishop runs, then there we go. That falls too. You got to go there, there, or there. I don't think it makes much of a difference in terms of what I'm going to play. I suppose if queen b6, I could throw in a little trap there against the bishop. Okay, so they're going that direction with it. Check, it looks fun, but nah. Okay, I'll just take on g7. Take that. Looks interesting, but I guess I'm threatening the knight. That's fine. I'll just keep it simple. I got my material. Let's run out of there. I'm going to run to f4 now, and then maybe look at that short side. Or maybe queen g4 now, but at least my knight's not attacked. So if it was my move and I do this right now, I'm looking at the knight, I'm looking at check. Much different story. So they're going for the knight now. That's okay. That's cool. Trades are good. I mean, attacking is fun, but I'm up 2 pawns, so trades are fine as well. All right, let's look at that. That knight. Look at e6 as well. There, this falls. There, this falls. Okay, now we're looking at the knight twice, thanks to our hippo bishop and the rook. Trades are fine. Okay, they don't want to trade. Good move on their part. They should not want to trade down right now. Check. They're also getting attacked, so you can make an argument either way, but okay. Check again. Check again. All right. Okay, we got a e5 here. Standard chess. All right, if knight c6, we might see a tiger. Never mind. Going hippo again. Hippo. Averbach. 2 knight center. Attacking my queen for no reason. Mistake. Mistake. That's a bigger mistake, but okay. Got to have those ready against this pawn. Okay, lock it up. All right, now this pawn is a target. If you make this pawn here, that will become the target. But yeah, as the game goes on here, this is going to be probably a little bit of an issue for black in terms of defending that guy. All right, at this stage in the game, guys, only the king defends the queen. I am taking that, and I am trading down quickly is the plan. Yeah, sure. If you guys haven't seen my under 1,000 ELO video, look that up. Under 1,000 ELO Hippopotamus defense player. All Hippo players need to know that if you're under 1,000. Okay, here. They go there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's attack it. Okay, defend the knight. We're also looking towards castling, which would put our rook directly in line with their king. And this is good. We're not in a hippo, but that's okay. They allowed us to break very quickly open against their king. That is a mistake. We're up in development. They have targets on our side of the board that are very weak. And of course the bishop drops right now. Okay. Why did I just do that? I don't know. Maybe I was thinking about the PIRC defense course I'm making. Anyway, we'll go back into the hippo. There we go. Okay, so we got like a Austrian or Grand Prix, depending on how they play it. Now we got an Austrian. I'm going to go e6. I'm going to do my pseudo hippo here. Okay, and the PIRC course, funny enough, I do cover the knight f6 against the typical Austrian there, in which case c5 is an idea I really like. But you could also go pseudo hippo as well. And for those of you that have the advanced hippo course, I also include the PIRC chapters there for the Austrian. Okay. Bishop c4. So one thing that stands out to me here is if I go d5, it's going to be very hard for them to pull off f5 because this is going to fall. This pawn's going to fall. That makes this harder. Do I have to do it? I don't, but I don't mind it because, again, this is central. This is the center pawn. This is very important for their attacking chess. Now they kind of have a gap. One of the subs called it a gap tooth here. So, you know, the Invisalign hasn't really kicked in yet. There's a big gap there, and that's a weakness. Now, do we hippo it or... Yeah, we can keep hippoing it. Probably castle soon. I'm not going to fianchetto this bishop. There's no point. I could see that trade, though. That'd be good. Let me castle. This is about king safety now. Again, when to castle, when not to. The king was on a wide open file. Let's get out of there. Now, with that, I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be mad at me for this, right? Hopefully none of you guys are mad at me for that move. Here, good move on their part. c5 would put some pressure on them. Takes. It's getting messy. I could always kick it. All right, here we go. Prove the bishop. I'm looking at that weakness right there. I'm probably not going to move there right away because I'd just get attacked, but I have an eye on it. That's good. Here, nope, we see knight tuck. Okay. Here now, yeah, I'm not sold on it yet. I like this idea, but I don't think it's the right timing. They just take it, and I'm down a pawn. Knight out. Okay. That looks solid. Yeah, and again, guys, back here, I could have just stuck with the hippo, right? Could have stuck with it. I'd probably go for the one. Let's go back there again. I'd probably go for the 1, 2, 3 again, that kind of thing. But yeah, sometimes if you see a certain setup, you can leave the hippo, still hold on to themes in it, and get a fun game. All right, now I do like this because if they take, I get a passed pawn. I get it with tempo against the knight. If they go back, I'm not going there because of check. Oops. Or check. Oops. Here, knight. Pawn again, way too weakening. Oh my gosh. Oof. Horrible. All right. Knight f5. So this helps me put a lot of pressure on d4 as well, just in case I want to sack and break open a diagonal against the king. That's protected. Like if they're like, this is kind of tempting. Takes and check or something. Okay, g4. Wow. Is this sound right now? Not sure it is. Not sure it is. Their knight is running out of spots. I'm not going back. We ain't going back. I know that. Here. have? I could take with the queen. Trade down. That's attacked. Yeah, my intuition is telling me to take, so I'm gonna take. I mean, they do have an open king. I don't see a direct line here, but I do have a passed pawn. I do have a lot of supporting pieces here. I could quickly. That's probably the game plan. I probably got to get my rook involved fast. Yeah. Get that guy involved in a hurry. Takes bishop, rook, potentially. Or I take with the queen. Or the bishop. I'm not totally sure, guys. But I'm going to have to figure it out. Here, they don't have to take. If they don't, that's okay. I'm guessing they will. Then my knight takes. Or bishop takes. Yeah. Knight takes. The main move I'm concerned about, I mean, I should try to keep material on the board, right? Why not? So I'll take with the knight. I'm attacking. I'm down material. I'm down a piece for 2 pawns. Let's keep material on the board. They go for this move. I'm okay with losing a rook, or excuse me, a rook and pawn for 2 minor pieces. F5 maybe? Takes. No, they go there. C5 looks good. H6 looks principled. I'm going to just get rid of that knight. That knight is annoying me. That knight is what you call an annoyance. You could give your knight up or run away. That's about all I see right now. Taking runs into check. If knight h3, I could check and go get that pawn. I don't know how helpful that is. Okay, so now I'm up 1 point. Takes. This is an interesting moment where I believe they're going to have 2. Oh, wait, timeout. Yeah, I would have. I mean, they could still take. There's no rush. That's a dangerous move because if I take it, then there's another attacker there. I don't love that, like, at all. Push. Yeah, lock it up. Okay, so their light squares are getting weak. If they take and I take, I'm down a rook for a piece. So, okay, I'm down the exchange, up a pawn. Interesting. Most of the time, the exchange, if you have the exchange, let me say that again. If you have a rook versus a minor piece and a pawn, usually the rook is better. Usually. But not always. Takes, I mean, takes. Do I want to trade queens? I don't know if I have much of a choice. I mean, I could take with the bishop, but they run. I'm not sensing my attacking chances, so I will take with the queen. If I take, I lose that pawn. The rook can't be saved. Okay, so I'll just step off. Now they got to take it. Okay, good news for me is I have a passed pawn and a bishop that could be solidified. Bad news, I'm down the exchange. But I actually don't mind this endgame. I have a passer. F5 is a very nice square. If you attack my bishop, I can solidify it. B4 here, takes. That's fine. I could always take back with the bishop too. so they're doing that. I mean, I want to run in, no? King G3. E3 maybe? Or do I go A5? I mean, that's a threat, so they have to answer to that. I attack it, they defend it. Ooh, check. Never mind. I don't like that. Here looks strong. I could do this whenever I want. I want to play here so that this is not a distraction. And now they're pushing. The board's getting locked up, which rooks don't thrive in locked up positions, and they have 2 of them. Now I believe I can rook lift. I'm just trying to keep adding pressure. Rook up. Boom, check. Nope. Here, that's not a threat. I'll just keep improving. So I'm looking at B3. Now you pushed it, but C4, nope, still doesn't work. Maybe I push now. See where they decide to go. King in again. I mean, you got to get an active king in the endgame, right? I have an endgames course as well, guys, for those of you wanting to really focus on that. King E4. I could go C4 as well. I mean, they both look pretty good. But I'm going to go King E4 because this takes away King F3. And I can do this whenever I want. This I won't be able to do whenever I want. Let's do this right now. So this is still an idea. This is an idea. This is an idea. What else? I mean, I could do that. Okay, so the rook flies back, so this no longer works. Here I just get checked like there's no tomorrow. Alright, let's just take a little more space again. The goal here is to slowly take over, keep things closed, keep those files locked. There, they defend. There, here looks interesting. I don't know if... I love that. I don't hate it, but... I don't hate it. Here looks good to me, here looks good to me. Nope, never mind. Here looks good to me. Alright, that actually does look pretty good. Because if here I go here... I don't think I want to take. Push, they stop it. Push, they stop it. Nope. Okay, improve the king again. Okay, now we're up a pawn with a passer. I think there's plenty of winning moves there. But I'm okay giving that pawn up because this pawn's so close. Now you can't move your rook. Okay, so the king is going to try to find some counterplay, I'm guessing. Okay, they're keeping material on the board. Check. Check. Yeah, well played. Very, very good game. That might be the best game we've seen so far on this entire slow run. D5, yeah. So the engine here, guys, the best move is D5. Anything else, white has a slight edge. Typically, I see bishop D3, which, again, this is where you can go 1. Well, that's not really the 1. It's right here. 1, 2, 3, if they go kingside. Now, bishop C4, this is the center of your 3-pawn center. You don't want to lose this guy. You don't want to get that gapped tooth. You don't want Invisalign. Now you do. Now you need it. And, I mean, okay, I don't play perfectly from here. 97 was good. Castling was good. That was good. That was not good. It likes C5. I was looking at this, but I was thinking, like, I don't know. But yeah, I guess I just have too much development. Too much development. Okay, so let's go to the point where, yeah, right here. Okay, that was a blunder. H6 first. E3. That's hard to see, I'm not gonna lie. Makes sense though. Now the bishop's stuck, and now we take. Wow, beautiful. Huh. Push the pawn and then take. So here we're in trouble. I mean, no way around it. Losing. Yeah, I got a little lucky with that, I think. You got the pin. You got the pressure here. Just keep on piling it on. Once we went into the end game, B4 is the best move, yeah. And then this is where, right there, right when they didn't find that counterplay, you have 2 rooks. You got to break it open. If you don't, then we can just slowly make our progress. All right. Okay. 2-pawn center. Knight F3. Okay, this is all looking pretty standard. We'll see if he goes queenside or not. Nope, kingside. All right, tuck the knight. Or here first. I typically do this first. Doesn't matter, but okay, A6. So this can be interesting when they end up pushing the pawn to A5 and then they take, because then you could either take with the knight or take with the pawn. I'm gonna take with the pawn just to keep these guys together. Interesting. That threatens this pawn. Very interesting. I mean, I could go here, but then, I've never seen this line in my life. Here, that's a weakness. If I go here, the bishop improves. That's not good. Wow. Okay, it looks like we're all learning something today. E5, knight F3, here. Okay, I'll give you the pawn. So the knight, so they're up a pawn now. So now we gotta fight, guys. We gotta fight to get out of this. If I improve the queen, they improve the bishop. If I improve the knight, yeah, let's do that. Push, boom. Definitely going over that one after the game's over. But that's the cool thing. Like in something like the Hippo, once you see a setup that you've never seen, you can see where your first mistake was, learn from it, never make that mistake again. Not taking with the rook, not taking with the knight. I gotta take with the queen because I gotta get this guy protection. here, probably b5. There, I kind of like the idea of fianchettoing my queen. Knight back is good. I don't know about that move. It's okay, but bishop e4 is good. b5 maybe. So they could push or defend it, but you got to do something here. Maybe rook e1. That way at the very end of everything. Bishop takes pawn. Okay, so this is a pretty normal Hippo position, except we don't have a pawn here. And no pawn here, no pawn here. So that does make a big difference. All right, so they're going for the sneaky bishop takes pawn idea. I'm good, man. Thank you, though. I appreciate the offer, and I will pass. Just to free up my A pawn just a little bit, just to give that guy a breather. Okay, they push. This is pointing towards improving the knight. Here, sorry, here and here could work. Okay, they end up running away. Yeah. I mean, I think these are the two best spots for my rooks to be on. So might as well start with those. There's a pin here, but who cares? There's a lot of protection. Okay, you want my pawn? I don't want you to have my pawn. If I go there, that's definitely a little bit scary. So I'll defend it. That could be an idea for them. Now for me, maybe 1-2 could work. If they take, I mean, if they lose this bishop, my knight is almost immovable. So I don't think they want to give that bishop away if I go here. But when I go here, I need to make sure it's a threat, or else they just kick me right back home. Or they just don't let me there at all. Okay, so that's just not going to be an issue, apparently. G4, we improve. Okay. Here looks solid. Maybe rook c4. Not totally sure. It depends on where they go. Oh. Wow. Bishop a5, yeah. That's funny. I'm not used to this. Not used to that rook having vision. Goodness gracious. This might be the first loss, guys. This might be the first loss. Hopefully we can get some plot armor going, but this is rough. Here, and I lose this pawn too. Gonna take a miracle. Pawn. I kick. That's not fun. Here. Here? No. All right. Move the queen. Pawn h4 is still an idea. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at knight before, it just doesn't do anything because that bishop's so strong on e4. Okay, the rook improves. I don't know where you're going with that, but I mean, it's not a bad move. Bishop back. just to, I don't know, do something there. Knight c6 looks interesting. I don't think they want to take h4. Okay, so we go here. All right, we're looking at the rook. Pawn up. Okay, they run back. We go here or here. It's not great. Here. Yeah, I don't like the knight sacking. That's not fun. Here, here. Although in fairness, nothing will be fun, right? Okay, bishop up. They push, I push. They go here, here. I want to lock it up, but we'll probably see taking, and then maybe king up or something. I have pressure here, but I will say f4 is weak too. So maybe that's a concept. Okay, never mind. The knight's gone now. Okay, d4 is attacked twice. They'll probably go here. Here. Yeah, we'll try it. What the heck? They should not push. What's my idea from here? I don't even know. Here. Yeah, I mean, pushing's not good. Push, I take. King h2. So that does give me this. I don't think it matters, but takes. Okay, I'll improve the queen. I'm trying to get white to push here, because then I could potentially get their knight. I'm already down 4 points, so my goal here, guys, is to play crazy, make the position wild. What the heck is this? These are very odd moves, I gotta say. Very strange. Okay, I mean, it's not a bad move. Maybe look at that f-file. Knight a5, maybe. That is one of the weirdest progressions I've ever seen. Huh, strange. Okay, well, what do we got from here? Rook over. Knight in looks fine. Okay, rook over. If the king moves, that's threatened. So I have to go g5. Maybe rook lift? Potentially to f4. It's still interesting. It's still interesting. Queen here would put some pressure on the knight. Or give me at least sacrifice ideas. Okay, never mind. They went there. Here. So I'll eye up that pawn. The king improves. What the heck? Queen h1 does protect the knight. Wow. King up, I get checked. Bishop back, maybe? Could work. That rook's gonna get involved soon as well. I mean, my main concern is queen h1 and the pawn falls. That's my main concern. Takes. I guess I'll start with that. Okay, pawn captures back here. I am a little lost here. I guess I'll go here. I'm trying to just add as much pressure as I can. The king is in a very awkward spot. Obviously, pushing is horrible for them. Okay, now I'll go here. Attacking the knight. This works. This works. That's probably a little better. Yep. Knight a5. Okay. I'm looking at c4. The king cannot move. And they do have that, though. Okay, I'm going to attack the queen. Attack the queen? I mean, h6 is going to fall, right? So if h6 is going to fall, then it's just bad. Yeah, I guess I got to start running. Run again. Okay. Rook over. Rook down. Rook down, we go here, they go there. Who cares? Here. I guess. I mean, that almost works, but the queen saves herself. Okay. Is my rook just trapped? It looks trapped. Yeah, I can't move my knight. I could move the queen or the king, but that doesn't do anything. Alright. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just shot here. mean, either of those are winning. That looks a little better. All right, check. You can't block. They run. Check. Yeah, very good move. That would have been mate right there. Okay, I'm looking at the pawn. Oh, that was a mouselet. Yeah, good game. All right, y'all, I gotta apologize for how poorly I played that game starting out right here. Okay, so knight d7 was fine. All right, and with a4, first off, there is an argument that if you don't want to face this type of situation where you're not able to get both of these pawns here fast enough, you should play b6 instead of knight d7 there, right, or a6 or whatever. So there's an argument for that. I have covered this before. I just kind of spaced out on it because it's been so long since the time I've seen it. But okay, if your opponent does push a4 very quickly before you have pushed either of these pawns, you got different options, all right? One of them is a6, which is what I did. a6 was totally fine. You could also play b6, and if they do push a5 right now, they don't give you the time to play a6. Okay, we can't lock it up. You could either ignore this and look to capture back. You could even take, right? Take here, and once the rook captures back, whether you do it now or later, go with c5 and attack the rook and put some pressure on d4, which depending on the situation, this could be very bad for white, specifically if their bishop is on, let's say, f4, because then you're threatening the rook and you're also looking at a pawn, which would gain a tempo against the knight, right, in general. So that's something to think about. And again, going back to this spot, right, you don't even have to finish this out necessarily. You could even play a6, right now a6 like I did, and then with a5 I ended up playing b5. Probably should have waited a little bit longer on playing that, maybe castle, king h7, develop my position a bit more, and then play b5, because when I did it this early, this ran into capturing and knight b5, right? And this is an issue. I don't have my king castled. White here is looking right at my d6 pawn, and I ended up castling, and then I drop it, right? There's really no good way to save it. If I play knight f6, bishop f4 comes in, I don't want to push this pawn because of knight c7. So again, y'all, going back to this point, you can go with b6, and if they play a5, take it, and then play c5 at any given point there. And that's one way to play it out. You could also go a6 and then go with b6 or b5 later on is what I'd recommend. And even in this situation here, taking with the knight, this is playable. It is better for white. As you can see here, we got the 1.3. But again, that's not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world at all. Now if knight b5, thanks. The rook's protected. So that's a whole different game right there. And let me ask you guys a question real quick. Here in this position, I missed this. I missed it. This is a draw for black. White just gave up their advantage by taking here. Comment below if you can see how black can force a draw. Let me know. All right, y'all, let's get back in the win column here. We got okay, Iffy and Keto going on both sides. Are we going to see a copycat game? No. Okay. So, all right. I mean, decent position by black. I will say that knight on c6 is slowing down the c-pawn. So, yeah, they're probably going to want to take control of the center pretty quickly there. All right, b3, Iffy and Keto the bishop. Looking at that vulnerable pawn on e5. So that only has one defender. The d pawn has 3 defenders on it. You also got a bishop looking towards that pawn as well, which is something to keep in mind. But we do have tension here, so I'm going to eventually want to play rook b1. Now, in this situation, funny enough, if I go here, takes, knight in, is this like a similar situation? I don't think so, because I could play knight f4. Although maybe a3 is just good to throw in. Just puts an end to this forever. Yeah, let's just do that. And again, the e-pawn pushed, so I don't need to take this right away. I could, but I decided not to there. Because if I end up going, hey, I'm going to capture off this knight to remove a defender, oh wait, my rook's hanging. So that doesn't work right now. Okay, castling. All right, let's just keep adding pressure to that pawn. Again, I'm not going to remove the defender because it's a bishop taking back. All right, the only way for you to attack this pawn would be bishop f5, which I have a queen here. It's not a king, so I can move my knight to f3. Queen c2 also works. I think this is the most natural. Okay, now it's going to be a question of how do I defend this bishop? Do I want to go rook b1, rook a2, queen c2, queen d2? Somehow I want to give this bishop protection just in case that knight moves and wants to do something crazy. All right, so they're going back and forth here. Not the best idea, I don't think, to just go there and then back, because you just gave me this. You just gave me an improvement in my position. We got 2-on-1 in the center because they gave up their e for my c ultimately. And supporting the bishop seems like a good option. Rook a2, I don't know. I don't like that the bishop's looking right at it. Queen c2 is very solid. Let's do that. Queen c2. I mean, this is so principled. You take with the c-pawn. You got that little developmental option available. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Now, I got complete control of d4, that's for sure. Even e5 I have better control of. What are some weaknesses in my position? I mean, I'm at the point now where everything's kind of ready to go, so you can't throw your knight in. If you push the pawn and lock it up, that's fine. I already got these ready to go. We'll see. I mean, d4, I just take it, yeah. If queen d7, I'm not going to be able to castle. So maybe I got to go knight f4 there first to support this and put some pressure on the bishop and then castle. I'm not castling queenside. I don't see the point of that on this more open side of the board. And it's not like I have crazy attacking chess on the king side either. They got a fianchettoed bishop. I got something in front of my f-pawn right now. But yeah, solid position for white. All right, knight a5. Okay, I mean, I don't really know what they're... Where's that knight trying to go? Takes, maybe? I really don't know what that knight's doing. Maybe they're thinking c5, and if I take, they'll get attacking chances. I'm not sure, but I'm going to kick it back. Okay. Kick it back. What's an improving move here that I can make? Maybe castling. Or rook c1. Let's do that. because then I'm looking at b5 and taking on c7. That pawn's a target. Okay, they defend it. I'm okay with this tension. My rook's active, yours is babysitting. Now I'm looking at knight f4, castling, b5, I think knight d4. All these are solid moves. All of them are good. All right, let's start with castling. It's a good filler move. It's a good move to make when there's nothing super concrete available. And we're on the same side, so my king's very safe. All right, the knight's running. That weakens these more. I do have tension on that knight, but it's well defended. I'm guessing that knight's trying to get to f5. I don't know how I'm going to win this. Or if I'm going to, based on the last game. But what I am trying to know is how to improve my position slowly but surely here. So let's just improve our knight. Make it better. Make it more active. Put a little bit more pressure on this bishop. See where black goes. If you go here, I might get to kick the queen. I'm also looking toward maybe knight g5, maybe knight d4, maybe queen c5. Okay, so the bishop just can't make up its mind on where it wants to go. Interesting. Here, no. Not a bad move, but I feel like there's better here. That's improving, that's improving. I mean, that does put some nice pressure on the bishop. All right, let's do that. And this is something I talk about a lot. Like when your opponent, when you're playing the hippo and they push the e pawn and take, they're not really getting rid of this pawn because you capture back. They're getting rid of the c pawn. So okay, this pawn's not here, this pawn's not here. That's good for us. Look at all the activity we got from that. And you weaken both of these squares, which we both have minor pieces on. Now that move right there did just create a hole, a weakness. You weaken both of these squares. Now that square, there's not much I can do about. This square, I can jump right in. So let's do that. Okay. The pressure is continuing to mount towards the knight, toward that d5 pawn, c7. We'll see how black responds, but I don't think this is the most comfortable for them. For example, if queen d7, I would be happy to trade. Let's say the bishop takes, take, or okay, so queen d6, pretty similar situation. So here, let's take that queen, and then d5 falls. Now, if I take d5 right now, that, I mean, they can't take this because I have a fork. If they take my knight, though, yeah, I don't love that because I got to take here. d3's weakened. d3 is definitely being targeted right now. I could take here right now and then take. That way I'm threatening the bishop. Let's do that. So trade off. If the rook wants to take, that's fine. I'll just capture back. Okay, now this has a threat, a very immediate threat of taking off a minor piece. If the bishop runs here, fork. Okay, the king defends it. Let's go with, yeah, we'll take it. I like my knight, but that bishop was pretty strong as well. And we're up a pawn, so we want to trade. All right, let's secure our one pawn advantage. And yeah, I mean, shout out to the Chess Endgames course. Most of that course is dealing with being up or down a pawn. One pawn makes such a big difference. Thankfully for me, it's bishop of the same color, so it's going to be a lot less drawish, a lot more difficult for them to make a fortress than opposite color bishops. F4 looks Looks good. I'm not trying to checkmate this king. I'm just trying to prevent the king from being able to make any progress. Because we're in the endgame now. I don't want this king playing super active. Getting into d4, for example. So let's just build a wall there. We got all of this covered. In theory, if the king could get there, that would be good for them. But that's not going to happen. At least anytime soon. Maybe 1-2 next. I could see that. I didn't take, by the way. Whoever takes first loses the file. So, like right now, if they take, I have ownership of the file. They could fight for it back, but okay. All right, bishop b3. All right, let's approve our king. Can't be bad. Here, maybe they're looking at bishop c2. That would put pressure on this pawn. Not a bad idea, honestly. I could go d4. Okay, so this bishop can't target the d pawn anymore. You could target this. It is defended, though. And in general, I'll probably try to keep my king on dark squares since they have a bishop on a light square. Try to keep that bishop as useless as possible. Okay, they're running away. There's no real, it's not like these pawns are here and I can stake out a square with my rook. Just not on the table right now. If I play d5, maybe I could stake that out, but then I'm really committing to light squares there, which I don't necessarily want to do. Don't necessarily want to do that. All right, let's improve the king. Just get one step closer to that center. One idea behind bishop c2 could be rook c3, so that's something we got to navigate. They're going f5. Okay, I think they just made my job a little easier in the sense that they're giving me close to a passed pawn right now. In fact, 2 passed pawns. Do I want to take with this? That does create a 3-on-2 for them. But it gives me connectors. Interesting. I mean, I think either's fine. I don't necessarily love that they could fight for this file either because I can't fight for it. All right, let's take that way. Okay, so we got 2 passed pawns. That's step 1 of the endgame, create a passed pawn. So we've done that. Now, let's defend this. Okay, rooks are really bad at defending passed pawns. They are in the center, which in general, I think the center is a good thing to have control of. But in terms of passed pawns, they're not very distracting. Like if I had 2 passed pawns over here and the king had to run, oh my gosh, what a sprint that is. Right now, it's like, they're right there. Now g4 looks pretty good. Pretty good. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm eyeing up that guy. If they go here, they do get a passer. It is isolated. Okay, so they got an isolated pawn. 2 isolated pawns. And I want to target it. Can I get away with this here? I think so. I want to improve my king, but I can't. Interesting. I could take, and then, I don't know, run in, maybe. Okay, it's probably time. I do give up the file, but I don't like all the possibilities that rook had. It still has it, but now I can look at running in. Right here, d5 potentially. Right now that drops the pawn, but I get the pawn back. Notice I'm keeping my king on dark squares just so the bishop is useless. Okay, they go there. Let's... Can I pin that bishop? I think so. Okay, so we got the bishop pinned. Now we take more space with our connected, pass pawns. That pawn will drop if I want to take it. Which I do, I'm a little concerned about that. Maybe here? It depends where the king goes, ultimately. Like, where is the king going? Is it going to be defending the rook? Is it going to be here in the way of the rook? If I were them, yeah, I do that so that this is still available. Here. You can't take because the rook drops. The other interesting thing here is that if I take, the rook could take with check. And then I got to take, and then they have two passed pawns that are more staggered out, but I think no matter how those pawns... Well, maybe not. Here, 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 take, here. No, I think I'm okay. Here they take, I take, they go here, here. If I go get that guy and they push, and I think I'm okay. Here, 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 here. Yeah, I'm inside the box. If you go here, I'm inside of this one square. I couldn't take this guy because then this guy sprints, but I think I can go get this pawn. If you go here, then I could just go back. Okay, so we're going to pick off this pawn. If you push, I'm inside the square. You just draw a diagonal line, guys, and if your king's inside of that, you're good. As long as your king can keep getting inside of that square, you're okay. So you don't necessarily have to go, okay, 1, 2, you just look at it. And okay, they promote, but who cares? And we got connected pawns there, side by side, so the king is completely stuck. I'm gonna go get this guy. There we go. Good game, well played. I mean, turn on the analysis. Yeah, I mean, they played well. I thought maybe the bishop back and forth was a little bit long for them. Let's just make sure that I didn't mess this up here. Check here. Yeah, so the pawn could take. Maybe I put an end to that pawn pushing and then go for this guy. And I'm up 2 pawns, so this is winning. I just wanted to like quadruple check that I was okay here. Even if you go here, I have to take. If you go here and push, I'm still inside of this pawn square, right? I'm inside of it. If you push, okay, I'm still in it. And then like kind of like what happened in the game, if you go out of it for a second, that's okay. Right now I'm outside of the box, outside of the square. But as long as you can keep getting inside of it, you're good. Let's keep it rolling. All right. Going up against Daniel Gallagher. Looks like a French player, not going to lie. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, never mind. Is this going to be a London with a bad bishop? Maybe. Or a Slav, semi-Slav? I don't know. All right, here we go. Doesn't really matter. We're doing our hippo. Can tuck that knight. Or b3. Okay, I would say if the bishop's here, I like tucking the knight so that if I get attacked, I can just move my rook. I want this knight out of the way. And they're giving my bishop a lot of activity here. And this is one of those kind of gray spots where it's like, do I play a3? Do I do this? There's a pawn on c6. I think for now I'm going to take a little space. I got good activity that direction. I can't tuck my knight right now with the bishop looking right there, but taking a little space. They've castled already. All right, knight d7, that's a good move. If I go here, they go check. That's fine with me. I move my king and then knight over. They don't. f6. Here. Yeah, let's keep taking space. Maybe something there at some point. I don't know. We'll see how they play it out, but c4 as well is probably a good move to look at since there's two pawns looking there. And there's no knight that can jump into b4. Here I do have this option. Okay, now the bishop is pinning the knight. That's okay with me. All right, let's keep taking space. They castled really fast there, and they gave me an active bishop, so it can be fun to start taking some space, see if you can break something open. All right, the bishop changes its mind. Let's go e2. Yeah, looks fine. Maybe castling queenside at some point. Could be good. I don't think I want to castle kingside with all of this already on the board. All right, so they're fianchettoing. All right, can I do this right now? Takes. No, I feel like I should castle. Let's castle. Let's get out of there. Let's get this rook active. That's a big piece of this. Like now if they go here, I can just defend it. No big deal. All right, they want to go there. I don't want them to do that. Here, if here, I defend. Yeah, that's fine. Chess is a game where you got to read and react, right? It's not all going to be attacking. When it happens, I mean, that does happen sometimes, and that's always fun, but typically against a good player, which 1200s are well above the median on chess.com. I think yesterday when I was looking, 12 or 13% of players ever hit 1,000. So, yeah, don't count yourself short, guys. You're probably in a higher percentile than you think. All right, g5 takes. Yeah, I like that. Because my king is way over here. I wish it was here on b1. That'd be nice. But hey, this is fine too. Okay, if I take here, they get activity. I don't get activity. If I take here, I get activity. They don't. Let's do that. Okay, double attacking that guy. My brain goes immediately to like a puzzle battle, puzzle rush move, but I don't think that works right now. Okay. Improve the queen. What do I got here? if I go check, they run. Check, they run. Check, they block. I mean, that's not bad. It's not bad. Is there something better, though? I think so. Let's break it open some more. Check, they gotta run. If I check again, the king is low-key starting to run away, so maybe I gotta check. Sorry, check, run, take, threaten mate. I want to stop that king from running and then keep chasing it down. So right now the king can't move. They got to find a way for it to move. If you go here, it's over. Right, again, guys, right there. Oh, what do you do? Take with check. Okay, I move. Yeah, I mean, back here, if I keep checking the king, it's gonna run away. So I have to stop it from running. I don't see how they can. Yeah, I think this is over. In fact, that's it. All right, looks like we're going up against Jay-Z here. Okay. Okay, Jay-Z playing pretty solid chess. I mean, all standard moves. Once I played a GM in an over-the-board tournament. I wish I had the notation for it. I lost it, but he played this. He played this exact setup against me. Okay, here. E5. Now that's, I don't know, Jay-Z. I don't know, man. I know you're a billionaire, but I don't think that's the move, you know what I mean? I could add pressure. I could just stay here. I could take. I'm going to take. It's a lot better when, it's a lot more fun when you take and the bishop can actually move and pin, but it's still, I think this is still good for us. Okay, they don't want, yeah, and that's the thing, guys, especially those of you under 1,000 ELO, you're going to see this all the time. Take, and then take the queen. You're not in the hippo anymore. That's okay. They cannot castle. You can. Here, Jay-Z realizes his mistake. He castles. And yeah, we'll take another pawn. Okay, so we're up 2 pawns. They're up 4-1 or 3-1, not counting kings in development. Okay, now it's 3-2. That's good. We're catching up. If I go here, do I want to go here? Pin. Yeah, that's fine. Whatever. I got a castle. Get out of the center ASAP. Here, I lose one of my pawns. Not the end of the world, really. Really not. Should I defend it, though? I don't see why not. But if they're willing to give up the bishop, I'm willing to give a pawn back. We'll see if Jay-Z wants to give up the bishop. I don't think he does, but probably wants to maintain. Okay, maintains. I could push and then go here. If there, I trade, but it's getting a little wobbly. All right, I'm going to castle. Hey, I'm offering this up. But then queen c5 would be very good, so that'd be bad for them. Knight d2. Do I keep hippoing this? Or do I run from the hippo since I'm up 2 pawns? That looks fine. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I mean these positions, guys, don't be too hard on yourself. They can be hard to navigate. I'd say the way I'm looking at this right now is there a way for me to simplify the material here? Is there a way for me to trade down as fast as possible? Because that's once the pieces fall off, I'm winning. I'm up 2 pawns. Even if I got to give one back, that's okay. 2 back, I'm okay on that one, but unless I need to. But all right, kick. I don't love how active that bishop is. Although I guess I trap it. I guess I just trap it. Okay. Now JZ could take and then take with the knight. Looking to fly the queen in. If that happens, maybe I go 1-2 to stop that. I don't think finishing with the bishop makes much sense. Usually it does, but you're already down so much material. You got to go for the mate here, I think. Here. Okay, so they're going bishop at the end of it. Interesting. All right, now I'm just up a piece, but my king side is wide open. Can I do this? Can I do this? Typically, I like to go bishop f6, but I'm castled, so that's probably not the best idea right now. Here, I could go just pawn f6. It's not the worst move, really. Do I go b5 and try to distract the bishop? Here, if they go back, does that help me or them? Hard to say. It probably helps them, as they always have attacking ideas. Here, I could just develop. If I go here, though, does the rook sack work? It might work. Going crazy. Okay, so I'll develop naturally. Looking towards e5. I want to. The bishop and the queen are not going to be able to deliver mate. They're going to have to find something that can look at h7, which I think is going to be this bishop. So, yeah, they got to find some kind of way to make that happen. I'm thinking knight e5. If here... Okay, queen g4. Interesting. Well, in that case, now they're looking at here. So the bishop and the queen can do it. Do I go here? Pawn up. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, I'm looking at the queen. If the queen goes here, I get another piece involved in the defense. If the queen goes back, maybe knight f5. Takes. Here. They take my queen, I take theirs. They take this pawn. I run away, I'm up a pawn. Or up a piece or a pawn. Here. Here. Yeah, it just looks too dangerous. Knight f5, here. They go back, though. I could always move the queen. Yeah, that's fine. Moving the queen's fine. They take my queen, I take theirs. They take a pawn, I run away. Let's go for that. Again, offering a trade. It's a very crazy line, but that's all I'm trying to do right now. Trade down. All right, so they're running back. Now, I was looking at this, but they could just move back if they want to. And my pawn is pinned. I could go here, but they run. Here defends both of these squares. Right? The knight improves. I go here. All right, let's try that. So I'm defending these squares. Bishop can't go there. If there, I'll bring the queen to g6. I'm still looking towards their queen. I got a couple threats, I'd say. Now that the queen is 2 squares diagonal of the knight, so the knight's not going to get there anytime soon. Just can't do it. I am down on the clock here, so we're down 3 minutes. That's okay, though. We'll be all right. Yeah, you got good pressure there. How do they get out of this? They could move. JZ could go here. But I offer a trade. And I'm going to get something there. Something's going to fall. I'm not seeing how JZ can hang on to everything. H4. Okay, bishop d3. Right here. If the knight takes, I take the queen. If they take my queen, I take the knight. That's fine. If they go check, I take. That's fine. Okay, so we're looking at the queen now. If the queen runs, I could either take and then do bishop f5 or just do bishop f5. Either looks good to me. I'm a little bit worried about takes, rook here. That's kind of crazy, if I'm being honest with y'all. So maybe we, okay, well that move, again, I still don't want to do this because the rook just becomes a beast. I'm good on that. It's probably still okay for me, but why play risky? You know, why? Someone tell me. Someone explain. Here. Okay, we'll start with that. This is not available. I also have a blocker. This is hanging, something to keep an eye on. The queen is hanging. How can they take advantage of it? I don't think they can, but that is there. Gotta keep an eye on that. Take, do I take with the queen or the pawn? I could take with the queen or pawn. Either one. Okay, so that's what they're doing. If I take with the queen, they go check, I block, they go here, I block. That looks fine. If I take with the pawn, that also looks fine. If I take with the pawn, this is more solid, but it's already solid, so. Okay, I'll go queen with it. I don't think I want to move my king. I definitely don't want to go here because of check, and I got to give up the bishop. Here is probably better, but I think this is best. Offer a trade, right? That won't work. And the rook is ready to help. If check. If here right now, I just take it, right? And the pawns are covering all of these squares, so the rook's really not able to get involved yet. Okay, f4. I'm okay with that. That's helping me lock it up. I want a locked up game. Okay, so that's locked up now. Now they got 2 files they're working with, which is a lot more cramped. JZ runs. We push. Nah, what do I get out of that? Not much. I get an active bishop, but come on. There's all that pressure there. They're still looking towards that, potentially maybe here now. Hard to say. If I go back, the pawn hurls itself. If I run, I don't want to run. All right, maybe we develop. Just develop, get the bishop involved, get this rook connected. Can't go there, can't go there. I should probably move a little faster, guys. Here looks fine. Here looks fine. Okay, we're guarding the bishop. Check doesn't do much for me right now. Still guarding the bishop. I could start pushing the D pawn. I could go king f8. I kind of like that idea. Getting out of this pin. So the bishop has to run away. Or take, but I don't think they're going to do that. Here, that loses. That looks okay. That looks fine. The rook still can't get involved because we got all this going. Can't do that. Can go here. I think that's the move. I think that's the move, low key. That's not me. I have my rook connected. Okay. Check. Do I just run? Bring the rook over? Rook f8, e3 could work. Queen d8, not yet. All right, let's kick that queen. Let's get some counterplay. We've been defending for a long time. Queen runs, threaten mate. That's it. Yeah, very well played there by JZ. That was tight. That was a good game. I was winning, I think, the whole time. I mean, let's see. Let's see if I messed it up at some point. So I'm minus, again, guys, at the very start. This is all standard, but that's a bad move on them. And now I'm up 2 pawns. Let's just take a look at the eval bar. Did I mess this up? Obviously, they're not all engine moves, but I just want to make sure that the lead never went away. Okay, it got a little close. Nah, it's still winning. All right, good game there. Yeah, most Hippo games I have, it's not that defensive. But you know, the good news is that most of the time when your opponent is attacking you that hard, you are winning. They're just you know, giving you a lot of material, and you got to play out of that. All right, what are you doing, bro? Are you really doing this, man? You're at 1288. Okay, threatening the knight. I'm not doing that. I know that. I know that much. Could I kick it? I don't see why not. They can take this, but that's losing for them. Again, you just got to defend well. I could take with the pawn. Knight takes. I think either way it finishes out the same. I'll take with the pawn to start. I wanted to move the queen, but it takes and my bishop's hanging. So we'll do that. I'm up. What am I up? A piece for 2 pawns right now. I block with the knight. Okay, guys, here we go. Looks like we're going into another winning game where we have to defend. Right, and that is the one thing, like, I always say that the hippo's not passive, but there are moments where your opponent can attack it very aggressively. But again, for them to do that intensely, they have to give you the winning position. So, okay, if I am playing defensively and I'm winning, I'm okay with that. All right, offer a trade. Literally #1 defensive technique you can ever use. Unless you're down material, then you're just cooked. Pawns hanging. If I go here, takes, here, here. That's a lot of development. That's a lot of development. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Look, you really want to take this? Go ahead. I'm gonna have everything developed. No longer a technical advantage in material, but I mean, I still have a piece for 3 pawns in the middle game, which is a big importance there, not the end game. All right. Okay, so that we can C2 as well. Here, here. To defend the rook. C2 is going to fall at some point if I want to take it. Queen G4 also is an idea. Let's see here. Okay, there's the noise. Castle king side. So the rooks are connected. Queen could improve. C2 is weak. Yeah, I mean, again, guys, I'm up a piece for 3 pawns. Could be 2 pawns right now, but no thank you. Check, and I lose my knight. I'm good. I'm so good on that. I really am. All right. I mean, that king looks weak. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to cap. I'm not going to cap tail. Here. Takes. Check. Here. I mean, I don't want to give that queen that. Low key, the queen is not really able to move much right now. The only 2 squares are here and here. Let me just take those away. So now the queen can't move anywhere. I'm threatening a trap. How can the queen get out is the question. Knight d5. Putting pressure here. That could be an option. What else? Okay, so we do see that. Knight d5. All right. So that's being threatened. If I take, we got check. If I go here and they take and I improve, that's risky. Why would I do that? Okay. All right, let's take that guy. tuck our king. Decent move. Okay, throwing a check. Here. F4, I mean, that might be the best attacking square knight can be on for attacking play. Shout out to the Nimzowitsch defense for that one, the Kennedy variation, where you swing your knight over, throw the knight in. Shout out to my private student Vincent, who has become a beast at that opening. But yeah, right now the queen's got to move here or here, in which case I improve. If you do that, it's over. So you got to bring the rook over, right? The other option is I take, and if you take, check, they run. Check, they run, rook lift. Boom. That does look fun. And then if here, 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 checkmate. Okay, let's do that. Let's take this guy. So I'm opening up the king again. If you go here, check. You go back, check. You go here, rook lift, I'm threatening mate. If you go here, I take, I'm threatening mate. If you go f3, check, mate. We'll see if that happens, but yeah, okay, so they don't take. They don't take. I'll show that line when the game ends. That can't be too bad, right? Throwing the queen into the mix. I don't like that f4 can be played now. I'd like to just go here, but takes. Check. Does this work? That might work. Here and then here. All right, let's do that. Get the queen involved. And if you do this now, I have 3 attackers on it. I'm also looking towards this square. Okay, so they're going for that. Let's... Might as well. They got to trade that night. Yep. Now they're defending, so they got to trade, but they're also down material. So, trading is good for me either way. Trading or not trading. I was about to drink this Diet Coke, but apparently I finished it. So, shout out to Diet Coke. Feel free to sponsor a video if you'd like to. All right. You know, while we're at it, Nike, In and Out. I mean, who else? Ralph's? I don't care. Somebody. You know what I mean? All right, rook over. Check here. I might as well throw this in first so that this pawn is stuck. Then bring the rook over because I don't want to let that queen start playing defensive chess. Here, nope. Even if they go here and then here, I'd probably just take, go into the end game. And maybe I'd check first. There's too much play there against the king. Too much going on. I don't really have a mate threat right now. Maybe start pushing the h-pawn. Such an undervalued attacker. I mean, harry the h-pawn on the side of the board in the right hands can be very dangerous. And I don't see how they can kick my queen out. Ever. Okay, so they're doing that. Check. Check, and the rook falls. Check. 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 I didn't know they'd go there. All right, fair enough. That's it. All right, we're getting there, guys. We are hobbling our way to 1300 right now. The plan's to get to 2300 with the slow run. Let me know if you'd want to see more of it. The speed run we did up to 2300, and that was a lot of fun. Okay, so we got like a Zuckertor. What the heck? Okay, well, we got a Zuckertor with the other developed knight going backwards. Interesting. I don't know what's going on right now. I thought I knew. Okay, is this turning into an Austrian? Doesn't really affect me right now. I'm just developing. There is this possibility. I'm gonna go B6. Just see if they push. You know? Okay, they're not. They're not pushing. Okay, well, the Hippo bishop flies in, takes a hanging pawn. Great. Keep an eye out on those bishops, guys. They get a lot done. A lot done. All levels of play. More so at the beginner level, obviously. But all right, bishop sprints back. If you move this knight here, the Hippo bishop gets busy again and then runs it back home. So they don't have a D pawn. They just don't have it. It's just gone. No one knows where it went. I think I'm going to play solid here. Probably C5. That looks like a move that would be nice to mix in there. Okay. A6. Get these guys solid. Finish out development. If I see castling queenside, you got to attack the king, right? I mean, come on. A hope chess move there would be H5, trying to get some kind of action there, but we're not about hope chess over here. Bishop. Yeah, just tuck the knight. What the heck? I don't think it matters, but C5 is a nice spot. Okay, they're pushing. Let's finish out our Hippo. Now, just be aware of this, guys. If they push, I push, take, 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 I win the queen. Many players have fallen for that one. So, be aware of that. All right, G4. Again, you push one, I push the other. I'm fine. C5, if you go here. Do I want C5 or knight C5? They're both good. I think I'm going to go C5. Take up that space. Play aggressively here. Aggressively, actively, all the leads. That doesn't do anything. That, again, not good. So they got to go king b1 before they do any of that. d6 is also made vulnerable. So white could move the bishop and try to target it. At the same time, you are weakening that. The bailout option is here. I could also push. Pushing is probably what I'd play there if the bishop ran. If the bishop goes here, I might be able to just kick it with b5. Okay, so all right, I mean, the knight's running back home. Probably trying to pull off f4. I'm not going to go e5 because I like my active bishop. Here is a good move to throw in. Whenever you play c5, just keep an eye on this, especially when you have space with it. That's really what I'm talking about. Not against d4, but if you're taking space, this can be a nice maneuver to look at. Even here right now looks active. Let's do it. I'm just taking the squares they give me in the center. That's a threat. If here I can get a fork, if here I can get a fork. I actually don't think they can guard this. They could go f4. Take. Play from there. That gets a little dicey, so I'll take with the pawn. I'm already up a pawn. I don't need to get too greedy right now. It's like, am I taking this pawn for free, or is it coming at a cost? All right, are they getting another file that they can attack me with? Queen takes. I do have the option of trading into the endgame since I'm a pawn. They don't give me that. Takes. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like all that activity they get. Do I chuck this knight in there? Do I go here? That looks good too. All right, let's do it. So this plugs up the G pawn. They're gonna have to kick my queen if they want to keep pushing it. I don't see how they're gonna do that unless they swing the knight to H3. If they go here, okay, I trade. That's fine. D6 is weak. I get that, but if you ever take it, F4 right now only has one defender. The queen is the lone defender. I could kick. I don't know. Hard to say. Here, there's a lot of good moves. There's a lot of good moves. Knight B4 could be good. Castling queen set could be good. Honestly. Either way, looks safe right now. This is safer, practically. Okay, the king runs. Good move on their part. You got to get the king off of there at some point, bro. So, good job. I could trade and then go after that knight. Let's do that. Let's just start trading. They have so many weaknesses. Whoa, really? Sure. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take it. That's defended. They could... Okay, well, I was going to say they could kick my queen, but with taking, we're in a good spot now. Do I want check? I don't really care. Yeah, that's fine. The rook's hanging right now. Okay, now they're defending the rook. Let's cut off that defense. I don't know how they save the rook now. Here, takes. Oh, wait. They just take b6. I think I'm getting a little bit tired, y'all. They take b6. All right. That's okay. That's okay. I think if I saw that, I wouldn't have played knight d4. I probably would have played bishop e5, maybe? Here. Here. That's weak. Thanks to my bad move. Here, here, here. If they improve against it. Takes, maybe? I don't know. We'll see if they can find this. They do. Knight a4. I defend. Or, hear me out, I go here. I think that's way cleaner. Because then I'm threatening this pawn, the rook as well. And I'm looking at trading. I think that's way cleaner, way faster. Take, take, yeah. I don't need to hang on for dear life there. All right, do I take now? Check, takes. It's not bad. Not bad. Probably more principle just to take, though. Okay, now I get it with check, and then immediately I can capture the rook. All right, y'all, last game of the day, potentially. We'll see how it goes. Oh, never mind. All right, y'all, nope, not last game of the day. as it's +7 for the ELO. Come on, man. Not good move, bruh. Not a good move, bruh. I'm winning now. You're just giving me pawns. Like, come on. One of the worst moves possible. Okay, they want to give me more pawns. Sure. All right, now I can't castle, but I'm up 2 pawns. I'm okay with it. I'm not complaining here. Check. Now I would usually tuck my king here, but the bishop's there. If I go here, 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 that's not fun. Let's get rid of that guy. Check. Now I can just develop my bishop and then king c1. That's another resource that you can use if you're not able to tuck your king here smoothly. Okay, we'll develop some more. All right, you get the check. That's okay. King over. Now, again, y'all know me, trade down. Rook d1. Maybe here and here, depends if they fianchetto. If they fianchetto, then that falls. If they push, that falls. In the meantime, as they're developing, I will probably just move my knight out. Knight f6 is interesting because it does eye up g4, which could mess up my pawn structure. Do I love that? Not really. If I'm keeping it a buck with y'all. H3? Yeah. Just put an end to that whole thing. Knight f3, g4 maybe. Now it's looking, well, it depends. Again, I don't necessarily want to go here if they're into fianchettoing. Knight e4, so they're offering a trade. Sure. I don't want to go f3 there. Looks too awkward. Develop. If you double my pawns, I don't care. They're not isolated. They're well put together, like the Pierce defense versus the burn variation. Bishop moves. We go there. Right? Okay. Continuing to just slowly get rid of less and less. More and more. You get the point. Here, here. Okay, I think now I can go this way. Because if you take, I would have rook c1 and then that pawn drops. Okay, next step, offer a trade. They have to either accept the trade, good for me, or run away, good for me. Or leave it there, good for me. King up. c4 would have been good. Still, I can get it in, but... Alright, let's do that now. c4, put this pawn on a square where the king cannot improve. I'm trying to slow down attacking routes. You do that, sure. I'm okay with your pawns being locked in on squares that my bishop can see them. Great. Okay, and really what matters, guys, are base pawns. So, like, what I mean by this is right now I have 2 base pawns, meaning these are pawns that are not defended and cannot really get defended. But these are defended, right? Now, both of these pawns are base, so those are weak. It's all about if you can get to the root, right? If, like, for example, if you have a dark square bishop, let's just say they had a bunch of dark square pawns, but they were all like this. All of these squares were pawns. Well, my bishop can't do much unless I can get to the base. That's what matters. My base here is strong. My base here, it's on the same color as the bishop. I don't care. It's strong. f5 here. Like, this is an example of this being a very... They're all on the same color as this bishop, but it's okay because this is strong. That said, I don't want to get into a lockup. So maybe now here. Looks good. Now this is a lockup too, but my king has a route. And again, all of these pawns are literally locked in on squares. So now you got 3 base pawns that are on my color. I have no base pawns that are on the color of this bishop. This one is, but it's not. If you take it, I don't care. So let's start running that king in. I could take. That's a good move. Why not offer a trade, though? That makes the bishop run. And then I take. And if they defend, then I run in. Okay, this is interesting. King back. King up. They just gave... I think they just gave me a... Oh, wait, no. It's still a draw. Wow, I messed that up. Yeah, good stuff. Wow. I cannot believe I just did that. Hey, endgames are hard. What can I say? Yeah, well played. I'm not gonna let you in there, bro. Wow, what a trip. Okay, so that game there, I had the win, obviously. Oh my gosh. So this is all good. That was it. That was a blunder. Yeah, just take it. I got too fancy there. Just take the pawn. So in my mind, I was thinking, hey, let's offer a trade. If they run, great. Now they don't have this. And then if they do take, I'm up 2 pawns, but everything's locked up. So if they can stop me from running in, I'm good. And then here the king was able to run over. I was trying to get... Now, if they go here, I'm winning. Because then I have opposition. Right? So, but they knew their stuff. They went back diagonally. That way, if I step in, boom. Wow, there you go. Apparently someone needs to work on their same color bishop endgames. Okay, fiend cut of the bishop. Here, here. Do I want to take the bishop and then lock it up? Or just lock it up? I'll just lock it up. Keep my bishop, keep that defense there. Okay, we push this guy. I'm just going into a... I just went into like a King's Indian kind of thing because they gave me that. Although, honestly, I could just do that. So that's great, too. Okay, I'm going to castle. Taking there could work. Could have worked. Trying to think through. They get some counterplay with knight h5, but I don't know if it's enough. All right, I'm going to tuck the knight, look towards c4. Maybe knight b3. Okay, that move does threaten the pawn. I don't want to lose that guy, so let me go defend it. If I push, I lose the f4 pawn. That's not good. That's not good. f5, I push. That's okay. Castling, we got here, here, here. Okay, that move is okay. Do I just go attack it? I can't push, right? Takes. Interesting. I actually like that. Okay, so I can pull this off because I have a discovery against the queen, I think. Here. Takes. If they go to g6, I have knight f5. Okay, so they don't take. All right, queen d7. If I push the knight, yeah, I mean, it's not doing much. Here, so let's go knight c4 to start. I get some vision with the bishop. If you kick me, I'm probably going to go knight a3. Castling, I have here. Potentially there, takes. I don't know if I love that. All right, let's take some space. Take that guy. I don't think that's a good move for them. Are you sure, brother? Takes. Here. Which is better, here or here? Or here? I think they're all good. If I do this, yeah, I mean, that looks winning. Because I'm looking at the queen, and I'm looking at the knight, and I'm looking at f7, and I'm looking at c6. There's too much going on right now. If I take, no, I don't like that. Take looks good. Take looks good. That looks the most simple. So trade, because they have a lot of attackers on that knight, so I'm trying to trade that guy off and then go take this guy. The idea there. Okay. This should be wrapping up quick. Queen f3 on the way. If the king, yeah, I mean, there's just not much for them here. Check. Look for trades, look to attack. The sideline pawn is a great attacking piece. Let's use that guy. If you take, then the knight. If you push, then I threaten mate. Here I take. Okay, so they're going crazy here with knight g3. Okay, threaten mate. Yeah, b7 is very loose. You could go here and here, but that doesn't do much. c6 takes. If you check me, I run to a square. The knight can't check me again. I could take it, but I'm trying to mate here quickly. Okay, last game here, potentially. My goodness. Okay, so we got a London. This guy's a quick mover. I'm okay with that. So we got the London. I'll finish the king side out. And then I want to play knight d7 before b6 because I don't want to deal with this and not being able to move my rook. A lot of players at some point will play e4 anyway. We'll see if this happens or not. If not, I'm okay with it, really, because that's super dangerous. Okay, we move the rook. F5 is a possibility. Knight F6, probably Knight F6. Maybe castling. I don't know. The bishop here is annoying, but it's also probably a little bit annoying for them. I don't... Like, it's not the most comfortable piece, right? It's always potentially getting kicked back. Castling against... Okay, yeah, so they go back. All right, well, that makes this easy. Nice c4. So they're putting a lot of pressure there. I don't really mind, to be honest. If you take, I'm okay with you taking because the bishop is defended. You run, I take space. You push, I trap. Probably look towards tucking the knight there. Can't push. Could technically take, but not a very good move. All right, I think I'm gonna castle now. If I go here, e4, this can be a little bit dicey with the hanging knight. So I like at this stage giving this a little bit more support, a little bit more development. We tuck, we push. All right, good move on their part. H4. Here. Nah. We'll defend this guy. Okay, capturing off. So now there's an open H file. Now this is interesting because white, I don't think can access it as easily as black. Okay, I can go 1-2. I think white's going to have a little bit of a harder time with that. Of course, do I want my king on f7? I don't know. We'll see. I don't mind it, actually. Here, here. Okay, the bishop's running, huh? I mean, that's almost begging g4 and here. Do I play it calm and quiet? You could still go for this whole check thing, but my bishop's defended, so it's not really a fork. I have this on the table. If you go knight h2, maybe f4 traps the bishop. Okay, queen improves. Looking at my king, looking towards my king. Do I care? Not really. I mean, a little bit. A little bit. If I take over the file, I'm not seeing anything there for them. That would be a good move, by the way. You know what? If it's a good move, why not just do it, right? Why not play the good move? b5 is a threat now, going after the pinned knight. So they don't want that to happen. My ideas here include rook h8, g4, f4, somehow getting this queen involved too. That's what we're looking at right now. Maybe push. Once I get my rook here, maybe push, takes. Bishop runs, I remove the knight and then fly in. That could be an option. Here. Yeah. Okay, so the queen runs back. We improve. Looks fine. I could go here too, but I mean, you got to take control of that H-file, right? That's the whole point of this. Take control of this quickly. Now the question is, what's the best way to get the queen involved? I think that could work. Maybe here. Maybe. This could work, although that might be a challenge. Because do I really want that rook looking at me? Not necessarily. Okay, so the bishop moves. I'm guessing they're eyeing up a bishop takes f5 shot here. Defends it. Yeah, that defends it. Taking. No. I don't like this. I don't like the queen flying in. No thanks. Appreciate the offer. I am good though. So now we got it defended. If e4, well, you know, now the interesting thing is the rooks could just double up. That's another idea. Here, here, maybe here, since there's not any pressure looking that direction. Rook h6 could be good. I don't think I'm going to use that square for the bishop anyway. I can't push now without check. I don't want to trade here as I'm attacking. I could remove the knight and then double up, but why not just double up right now? Double up. Okay, what's the difference between these? Here, it's a little more exposed. I could push and defend this. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think either's fine. I'm going to go here, just in case they try to break this open. I have an extra defender, and I'm not forced into a trade, having to take back with my queen. Rook h8. On the way. So they're going to have to bring one of these minor pieces back. I could take the knight and then run over, but the king is able to go to g2. Check here. Takes. They trade. It's still good, but I don't know. Here. They retreat. Here. That looks pretty good. Okay, so we threaten mate. Okay, now the bishop going there, we can remove the knight. I think the knight here, I have to trap the bishop and take with my rook. But, yeah, now the bishop just falls. You move the bishop, game over. I don't think white has much here. Okay, they capture. We fly in. We're going to be able to force the king out to g3. What do we have from there? Check. If they take, it's mate. If they go to g4, it's mate on h4. Okay. I don't think there's a way to stop that, really. They could slow it down with like bishop takes pawn or something, but that's not going to do much in the long run. Okay, check, check, check. Probably pre-move the capture instead of pre-move this, just in case they take. There we go, guys. We did it. Hey, it wasn't my day today. I did not play well in a couple of those games. The end game there, I totally botched. Hey, I appreciate y'all, those of you that stuck to this point. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I will bring my best the next episode. Okay, I will bring my best, and I will be locked in at a higher level. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Hope you guys got something out of this, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace. Y'all, I wanted to finish this video out by giving a quick shout out to my Patreon supporters, including Walter, Rob, Ray, Roger, Jerry, and Gary. Appreciate y'all a ton, as well as the rest of my Patreon community. If you're interested in joining, there are some exclusive benefits that you gain by becoming a member, and I look forward to seeing you guys over there. Peace.